Skye Squad, we are back in the building, baby. We are back in the building. Welcome back on this good Monday morning, baby. Welcome back on this good Monday morning, okay? Skye Squad, we are back in the building and we are discussing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 12, Trust Planning Issues, okay? So, if it's your first time catching a live, baby, get ready, okay? Because we about to have some fun today. So, listen, shout out to everybody in the chatterization from wherever you guys are watching from. I appreciate you. I see my people from PG County. I see love from Connecticut, New Jersey, New Orleans in the building, where I'm still trying to get to, New Jersey. South Africa, baby. Thank you so much for being in the building. Madison, Wisconsin, Raleigh, North Carolina. I see you in the building, St. Louis. We got it going on today, baby. We have got it going on today. St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, Houston, Chicago, Vegas, Jamaica, baby. Jamaica, man. Make sure you're around next week for when the cast goes to Jamaica. I see y'all. I see y'all in the building, baby. Listen, we got to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, guys, listen, I am having some issues with my texting community. Do not worry, though. I am just taking a breath to figure out the next move for my texting community. Some people are getting texts, some people are not. So we'll get that straightened out within the next couple of weeks. Just give me a little bit. Y'all, please be patient with me. Turn your notifications on. This is why it's important to also subscribe to the channel. And we will get that back popping in direct and correct order in no time. I have some assistants now. I have help. I have a brand manager now. So we are doing the doggone thing and getting these things in order. Okay. Now, with that being said, all right, let's dive into the episode. Okay. Shall we? Yes, we shall. So first things first, I want to ask you guys this question. Okay, what y'all rating this on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, now for me, I thought long and hard about this morning as I've been popping and dropping all around the house listening to this good old Beyonce. Okay, and I was thinking about it and I said, self, what am I going to give this episode? And I made my determination that I was going to give this episode a 9.5. But let me tell you guys why. And I knew you guys no, okay? No, okay? Listen. No. All right. Let me just say that without going into any more details, okay? I gave it a 9.5, and the reason I did was for a couple of reasons, okay? Number one, I felt like this episode gave me a lot of different things that I did not know that I needed. Number one, for me, I felt like I loved the discussion with Kandi and Todd, okay? With Kandi, Todd, and Kayla and Riley. I just thought it was just such a great discussion about trust planning. And I just think that it was, again, it's something that we as Black people need to, learn more about and build into our family wealth generation machine, okay? No, I'm not, listen, Easter, I'm not being generous with this rating this week. I thought long and hard about it. And this is important to me and our community. These are the types of things that we need to see on television. And we have not had this type of discussion on a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta or any of the other Black shows that I have seen, okay, recently. And we need to be constantly reminded of these conversations. And that is why I'm rating it so high. Not only that, but I enjoyed the lightweight shade between Sheree and Drew. It is the thing to me. It is the type of situation that housewives shows are built on. It is light shade. It is funny shade. It is shade that they can throw at each other and then easily bounce back from. And to be quite honest with you, I also felt like Drew has found her superpower as a housewife, and that is talking very condescendingly to her opponent while remaining calm and agitating the F out of them, okay? Because we've seen her get Sanya riled up. We've seen her get Fatum riled up. We've seen her get Sheree riled up. And I honestly have to tell y'all, Drew is blossoming into the housewife that she is needing to be. All I need for her to do is leave them props alone, okay? Now, but although she did say on Watch What Happens Live, that's how she expresses herself. And last night in the episode, she says she's an actress, baby. And sometimes she needs a prop when creating a scene. Now, part of me didn't like it because it kind of broke the reality TV barrier, but then a part of me liked it because it was a little bit of a play on words there. You know what I'm saying? She was causing a scene, okay? And whether you are an actress or a reality TV star, sometimes a scene needs to be caused, okay? So then the other thing that I thought was very, very interesting was she sang too. For the first time, I feel like I hadn't heard her sing before. So to hear her sing in that moment, it was like they bounced back from that real quick. And I'm going to go through the episode. Don't worry, but I'm telling you why I'm giving it a 9.5 because I need to be specific on this. Number two, and the next thing that I want to talk about is the moment, and I got to go back to Candy for a second. The moment that she said what she said about the reason why she feels so much pressure to be successful and to do the things that she is doing is to create these opportunities for African American creatives, specifically the ones who are looking to get in on the Broadway. To me, again, this is what I am talking about. These are the little things that I look for that to me make an episode extra special. And finally, how can you not love these moments from Kenya Moore? Kenya Moore, to me, is bringing the comedy in a way that I felt like she has never really brought before. I feel like she is having fun this season for some reason, and it is showing in every episode. And when I talk to you guys about being active in a scene, okay, Kenya Moore is active in every scene that she is in. Even when this is what you do as a reality TV star, for those of you guys who don't know. And this is why some are great and this is why some are not. Kenya Moore understands, and perhaps it is because she is an actress as well, okay? Kenya Moore understands the assignment of being active in a scene, even when it does not involve her, okay? And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that more when we get to that part. But her in this sign right here with Drew, Will Fight for Free, I was done. I was through. It was hilarious. It was natural. And this to me is an episode that is emblematic of what happens when the ladies don't try hard, okay? There was nobody trying to do anything. It was just fun, okay? So anyway, that's the reasons why I gave it a 9.5. I know I went on a little extra long with that, but it's all right, okay, because sometimes you got to get into some things, and today we did. Meanwhile, okay, so we see Sheree talking to Kyrie about his music. We learned that Sheree wants the unisex joggers and things. She's hired a designer, and we see some sketches, and the pressure is on. Now I'm gonna go through Sheree's scenes with this whole She by Sheree thing, all on their own. The next time we see her, she's going shopping, okay, and we learned that she wants to have a VPL for the male, what you call it, the male joggers and things like that. So essentially, I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this for you guys without being extra vulgar. Okay. So for those of you guys who do not know what a visible print line is, I'm going to give you my best interpretation of it. Now, the way that I just thought about it is not going to work because the video might be taken down. Okay. And we don't want that to happen. So I ain't going to get up and show nothing on myself. So the visible print line would look a little something like this. Okay. Imagine this to be the sweatpants. Okay. And then here is the visible print line for the men. Okay. So you can get a little bit of view, okay, of something doing a little pokerization as the men are walking through. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Do we understand what the VPL is now? The visible print line. And shout out to, listen, Jackson State University, please forgive me, but this is what I needed to do in order to use this. And actually, we could use this as a plug. Go to Jackson State University. When you go visit Jackson, Mississippi, go on down there. But for right now, this is how we show and showcase the VPL. I could not do it on myself because the video will be taken down and I'll be into troubles, okay? So meanwhile, the pressure is on and Sheree is about to, to do the doggone thing, okay? Allegedly. All right. Back to what I was saying. Meanwhile, over to Candy's guest house, it's a surprise birthday party for Ace, okay? Drew brings her kids, Kenya brings Brooklyn, and then they yank them kids out and they take them kids to that video game truck because they got to do a scene today. They talk about the security and the intruder coming in, and Kenya just spilling all the details about Cardi's house. Y'all should just get yourself an off-duty police officer like Cardi B. You know, she live over there in the neighborhood down the street called Rockville or something like that. Now, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but I was like, Kenya, why are you giving us all these location details? Please, no more location details on these shows. I personally, let me tell you something. I like to know a lot of things about my reality TV stars, but I really don't care about knowing where they live, mostly for their own safety. But that's just me. Anyway, we learned that Drew lives behind the secure gates as well. And I mean, who would expect anything less if you got 800 assistants? You should live behind some secure gates, okay? But if you live behind some secure gates and you got 800 assistants, why don't you know where your husband be? Meanwhile, Candy's upset because they had to shut the play down because the Omicron hit the cast and it was going to bankrupt the show, if she didn't do something fast. So they had to basically shut down the show, which is crazy. And, Candy is distraught because she's been working hard her whole life. And she has this moment in her confessional where she says she was trying to even the playing field for African Americans who are creators who want to be on Broadway. And baby, let me tell you something. It as a creator, as a Black man, as a Black person, as a person of color, when we see people making these types of moves for our community, you do not take that lightly, okay? You do not take that lightly. It is so difficult sometimes for us to get into these spaces and to create the things that we want to create that uplift our community. So to me, this is something that I take very seriously. So I love this scene with her. I loved it. And so essentially, they're trying to they recap the trip or whatever from last episode or whatever, and they hope that they don't have no drama in Jamaica. Now, this scene is juxtaposed with Marlo, Sheree, and Lay Archive, and we're gonna call this the Lay Click, okay? So we got the Lay Click crew over there talking about, Marlo talking about Michael misses being at home and William is sleeping and playing all day. Then she got a nerve to critique how her sister is managing the boys. And I'm like, well, if you think you can do better, why don't you bring them back home? Okay. Um, critiquing that woman when that woman got 4 kids of her own. Okay. You're gonna critique how she now Marlo. Okay. I understand you might have needed a break, baby, but you cannot be critiquing how she is parenting when you are on a vacation from them. Okay. I don't want to hear that. Meanwhile, Sanya arrives. They discuss Kenya ruining the trip. I would beg to differ that it was Marlo who ruined the trip. But anyway, so everybody's Sanya is ready for the Jamaica trip, and everybody can bring a +1. She needs to reiterate this. Bring a +1 whether you have a husband or not. Okay, bring a +1. Bring a +1. And in case you guys forgot, I put it in the chat. Okay. Bring yourself a +1. All right. Now, so she wants she need to call the other single lady in the group outside of Sheree and tell Kenya about the invite. Okay. So she invites them all. She's gonna invite them all to her house on Saturday. And basically Sanya stutters through telling Kenya that it's a couple's trip. She says it twice, and I felt like poor Sanya. The producers are like trying their hardest to get this girl some energy. But Run Rudolph just cannot for the life of her get it right. Okay. And I feel bad for her because again, I like Sanya. I do. I like her. I think outside of this show, she is probably like your home girl. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes your home girl ain't just ain't ready for reality TV. But in the case of a similar person, like not similar, but kind of similar, like a Drew Sidora, maybe she got to work her way into this a bit better and get more comfortable. Cause she sure won't comfortable on this phone when I got to tell you that it's a couple's trip. Okay. Kenya, I want to reiterate it's a couple's trip. Okay. Let me tell y'all in the chat. Okay, bring a +1. It's a couple trip. Okay, it's a couple trip. And so anyway, at that point, King is like, girl, get off my line. Okay, I am not doing this with you today. Okay. And Sonya's like, well, I'm gonna have to have a talk with her, via sidebar, because I don't know why they hung up. But when Kenya hung up the phone, why her and Sheree look over at the producers like this? Like, was she supposed to do that? I was like, why y'all looking at the producers? Yeah, she hung up on you. She did it. You don't need their approval, okay? And she didn't need it either. Kenya Moore gonna do what she want to do. I laughed so hard in that moment. Actually, I felt like I got a visual. I think I took a visual. Hold on, give me 1 second, because I was like, what in the world? Why y'all looking crazy? Why are y'all looking crazy? I ain't save it. I ain't saved the visual. Next time, okay? But y'all know, y'all saw it, y'all was there. Meanwhile, Kenya over at the candy house is annoyed because they feel like Sanya that Kenya going through a divorce and whatnot, and it just kind of felt like is Sanya trying to rub this in her face? Okay, why is she trying to reiterate this? This fact when it could be sensitive for Kenya, which I didn't necessarily get, but okay, I was fine with it. Whatever, make a moment for me. Anyway, Marlo goes then to talk to the Christian psychologist. Okay. Now, I know I am wrong for this, but I thought to myself, y'all should get together. Okay. I said, y'all should get, because Marlo and the man would look nice together. Get Marlo, maybe you need yourself a good Christian man to help you, to settle down with, you know what I'm saying? Find you a good old Christian man that'll pray with you. Okay. That might be what you need, okay? And so then if you and the man can pray together, perhaps y'all can pray and continue to strategize, okay, for the betterment of the boys. You understand what I'm saying? But in the meantime, while I'm playing matchmaker, the man basically tells her, if you don't create no structure for your life, them boys won't have no structure. The moment you structure your life, they will follow. Okay. She wants to bring the boys back with her when she come back for the next session. Oh, here go another good scene right here, baby. Candy, Todd, and Kayla and Riley meet up and chat about, you know, uh trust planning. Okay. Now, we learned that they actually can have 3 different trusts. One for Candy, one for Todd, and one together. Now, how do they divide up the things that they had before they got married? Okay. Now, the producers, oh, you know those Bravo producers be shady boots, baby. The producers be shady boots because what they does is, okay, what they chooses to do is they show us visually how the assets shall be divided, okay? And they know they didn't have to do it like this. They did not have to do Todd like this. They did not have to do Todd like this, okay? But this scene was so good outside of that little shade that they threw right there. Todd wants to give Kayla the condo, which everybody thinks is fair. But in terms of giving them lump sums, he would rather disperse the funds over time so that they don't blow it all. And Riley's face is like, that's not what my mama would do. Okay, you know that's what she was thinking. And Riley is basically like, listen, okay, Riley want all her money when she wanted. Now this is on the off chance, Lord forbid, that something happens to both Todd and Candy, okay, or either or one or the other, okay. Who is going to manage these finances or whatnot? And so Riley is accustomed to living a certain type of lifestyle that Candy has provided for her, and Riley is like, "You're not about to set me up and send me back to the struggle, okay? Because I see the way you this girl is, not that Kayla is struggling because I don't think that she is." But what I think that the lesson in this is that Todd, I think, was raised in a very different way, and he is choosing to try to raise his kids in a different way. Now, I'm not going to judge him on the way that he is choosing to raise them because, listen, how you choose to parent is how you choose to parent, and that's on you and what you want to do. But what I will say is this: it ain't always got to be, and I'm talking to us as Black people, that we got to put our kids through the struggle, okay? And make them feel like, they got to like scrape and scramble. Now, I'm not saying you got to hand them everything on a silver platter either, okay? But there is this trope, I think, that exists within our community sometimes that, my kid's gonna learn to get it out the mud, okay? No, okay. If you didn't bring them, if they weren't born in the mud, you better teach them how to stay out the mud, okay? That's what I'm talking about right there, okay? Y'all know what I'm saying? Do we have an understanding? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, why, if you're gonna give them access, you have access. You're not gonna give them any better access. You ain't gonna teach them the ropes about how to get that access. You're gonna make them go and scrape and scramble to try to survive while you could be providing them a life of comfort, because ain't nothing wrong with that. And we need to stop comfort shaming people, okay? Stop luxury shaming people. And then stop economy shaming, because I'm not gonna shame him for not necessarily wanting to, spend all his money. But I'm just saying it ain't always gotta be like that. Okay. It ain't always gotta be like that. Tish P says production was shady at AF for how they did Todd. Looked like Mama Joyce and had a hand in it. If I didn't know better. See, y'all gonna Tish P, you gonna get us in trouble, girl. Cause Mama Joyce don't play. So here's the thing. Candy basically is the lenient parent. Todd is the strict parent. Riley would be worried about how she would be living if something happened to Candy. Okay. And, she don't want to be stuck on struggle. Kayla basically falls out laughing because she's like, girl. And to be honest with you, y'all know what I think? I think Candy And Candy, forgive me for outing you on this one, but I think Candy be slipping Kayla some funds under the table, okay? Because I know, I just in my mind, I just believe Candy is not going. Candy probably looking at Todd like, you ain't gonna give them no money, but I will, okay? Kayla, let me cash app you these good 5 stacks, or however much cash app let you do. Can you Venmo that amount of money? Wire transfer, send it through a pigeon carrier? I don't know, but you know she giving us something on the side, okay? That's just what I think. Because the way Kayla fell out laughing, and basically, Candy says that she doesn't feel like she would trust Todd to really manage their finances the way that she would, essentially. And so when they ask Kayla for her opinion, she's like, well, because she know. Anyway, Todd get mad and he stomp out. He calls everybody ungrateful. Anyway, Sanya texts the ladies to let them know that the get-together will be a surprise for Sheree's birthday. So Sheree then, that's when she go to the fabric store. We already discussed the VPL, so y'all know what that means now. Go and use it at your leisure, okay? Incorporate it into your vernacular as you are speaking with your friends later on and you are watching people walking by in their sweatpants, okay? Do what you like. Meanwhile, Candy and Todd meet back up again, and he's still annoyed, but he also agrees he would not treat Riley the same way that Candy treats her with regards to the way he would provide money for her in the off chance in the event that something happened to Candy, which we pray never happens, right? So, Candy and Todd discuss the play. And basically we find out that one of the producers wants Candy to be a part of another play. And so Nick, apparently, I think that's her agent, was advising her not to do it. But Todd is like, no, if this is what you want to do, if this is who you are at your core and this is what you want for yourself and for others, you follow that dream until you can no longer follow it anymore. Just because the first one didn't work, the second one didn't work, doesn't mean that the third one won't. So if this is what you want to do, stay persistent at it. And I really like that. These scenes to me with Candy this episode, they meant so much to me. Just as a creator in general, y'all have no idea how many times a lot of us in this creator space face no's or rejection and doors slam in our faces, because nobody really publicizes that. So to see her talk about this loss that she has suffered, it was such a real moment for me. You know what I'm saying? And it meant something. And when I'm watching TV these days, I want to feel something, and I felt something in this episode. So that's why I rated it so high as well. Anyway, Sanya's prepping for the Ponderosa / Sheree's birthday party, and it will be the first time any of the ladies make it to her house. Now, Marlo has recreated a look that I think I have seen her use before in a confessional, but I was not sure. Did y'all recognize that look from Marlo from another something or other? I felt like she used that in a confessional from a few seasons ago. Chime down in the chatterization, or was it just me? Because y'all know I be looking, baby. I'll be scanning, and my database get to working. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Candy asks if Marlo's feeling better, after the whole trip debacle. Moneta arrives, Drew arrives, complaining that Sanya lives so far away, it's not even in Atlanta no more. But it's okay because Sanya gonna get to running, okay? She can run from wherever she lived to back to Atlanta, okay? If she live in Tennessee, then she can run back and forth because she got it like that, okay? Meanwhile, Kenya arrives and she speaks to everybody, even Marlo. And then Kenya too complains about the long drive over from, Atlanta to California where Sanya lives. And she get to talking about, Sanya, you got to do something with this decor, you and these fake trees. And I felt offended by it because let me tell y'all something, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with a little fake tree, okay? This fake tree sometimes provides decor for the backdrop, all right? Sometimes that's all you need a tree for, okay? Is the backdrop. Don't be coming for these trees, baby. Everybody don't want to water something all the time. You know what I mean? Anyway. So, Sanya then pretends like she wants to get some decor advice from Kenya. And so she also wants to speak, to her about hanging up on her. And so Kenya felt like Sanya was making her feel some type of way in her, and you know, it's back to Kenya got the PTSD. And Kenya, I think, no shade to you, okay? No shade to you, but I think you might need to see that Christian therapist, okay? That I'm trying to hook up with Marlo, okay? I think you need to go see that Christian therapist, and you might want to talk to him about this PTSD you got because you didn't mention it in about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes, okay? So if this is truly how you feeling, then maybe it's time for you to go ahead and talk to somebody about that, right? Um, because it's coming out in your interactions with others, right? And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing because she's standing up for herself and she's doing so in comedic fashion. But at the same time, given that she's mentioned it so much, if it genuinely is PTSD, and best believe a person can give us PTSD, trust and believe. But if that is it, she truly needs to, I think, maybe take some time to investigate and explore that so that it doesn't follow her into her next situation. Okay. PTSD, for those of you guys who don't know, is post-traumatic stress syndrome. Okay. And I just, I saw somebody in the chat ask, what is PTSD? Post-traumatic stress syndrome, wherein you have suffered some type of stress or traumatic situation, and even afterwards, you continue to suffer residual effects of that situation as time goes on. And sometimes it is continuous reminders or of the experience that you went through in the trauma that you faced initially. Okay. Um, Post-traumatic stress disorder. Sorry if I said syndrome. Okay. So anyway, Kenya felt like she was being condescending. Sanya wants to apologize, and they head out the door. So Candy then tells Monyetta about Kenya hanging up on Sanya, and that's probably the reason why they was talking. And Marlo is like, a grown woman shouldn't hang up. You know what else a grown woman shouldn't do? A grown woman probably shouldn't kick them girls out of their trip because she annoyed with one person. That's probably what a grown woman shouldn't do either, Marlo. Okay. Marlo, I got to pick my bones with you. You know I love you, but I got to pick my bones with you because you can't be coming after people talking about what a grown woman wouldn't do this. A grown woman wouldn't have had a temper tantrum the way that you did last week. Now that that's off my chest, Sheree arrives in her Gucci ensemble. Okay. Meanwhile, Sanya ain't got nothing really set up for the party yet. Okay. So the girls just sing happy birthday when Sheree walks in, and she's just happy or whatever. And she says in the confessional, Sanya, even though I just met him, is a ride or die for throwing me this type of party. She's ride or die just like me. Yeah, until you turn your back, because Sheree will talk about you as soon as you leave the room. I ain't mad at it, but I'm just telling you the truth now. So, meanwhile, y'all know them 360-degree cameras where the people be, where you be on it, and then the camera go all the way around the world. The camera go like this. It just keep on turning around like this. So she got one of those up in the house, but the thing don't work. I honestly, when that thing didn't work and you knew it didn't work beforehand, I would have said, take it down, take it down, take it down. Give me my money back. You're not going to have me on this camera looking crazy like she about to serve these dry patties, these dry potted meat patties or whatever they was that she was serving that the ladies did not like, okay? Drew came in and said basically that the party was given very much Party City. And so finally, Sanya's mama has to come in and save the day and lets her know that there will be some jerk chicken. Kenya get this screaming that there must be some kind of food because, again, those dry potted meat sandwiches just was not hitting. So then Candy brings up Drew throwing the bones, and Sheree agrees that it was doing too much. So Drew says that she is expressing herself her way. But when people won't express themselves, they throw rocks and they hide their hands. Now, Sheree is like, who did that? Okay. Drew is like, you did. Okay. Then she and Sheree argue about the Fatum. Okay. And then Sheree starts screaming, tomato, 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 tomato. And I'm like, what are we going with this? Is this the new clip, clip, clip? And I'm like, what is she trying to say? And then she says, I'm throwing tomatoes at you because you are whack. Okay. You are whack. I was like, I have never heard of this sort of diss, Sheree, but let's keep going with it. Let's see how far we can take this. Okay. So that's when I wrote in my notes that I feel like Drew has discovered her superpower. This condescending way that she speaks to people in this very calm and genteel tone, and she acts confused, like, what are you saying right now? What are you saying? I don't know. Why are you coming after me? Oh my God, you look so crazy. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, as this to me, okay, this to me, as Drew begins to start talking about Faye Toomb doing the background check on her, okay, Kenya Moore is off to the side doing a dramatic interpretation of everything that is being said, going back and forth between Sheree and Drew. And in my mind, I fell out laughing because I was like, what is what is happening here? But see, to me, this is the excellence that is Kenya Moore, because what she did was she found a way to insert herself into the scene and almost steal the scene because she was active in the scene. She was actively listening. She was giving face. She was giving expression. She was doing what needed to be done. She kept that attention on her, even though she was not even in the argument herself, giving us everything she had. And I said, you know what, Kenya Moore? I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. So Sheree says, well, I don't even know who we talking to right now. Are we talking to Danielle? We talking to Drew? We talking to Trixie? Who are we talking to? Because y'all got all of these aliases. I don't know who it is right now. Okay. You might be Anthony in disguise. How about that? Okay. So that's when Kenya says that Drew loves to fight. And she says she probably has a sign on the road that says, we'll fight for free. And when the producers added the little sign, I said, you know what? Get out of here. Y'all better get on out. I'm done with y'all today. Okay. So then Sheree says, I got something to say. Okay. If you guys sit back and think, every time we done sat down and had a Ponderosa, Drew has it out with somebody, and Drew makes everything about her. Drew then said, Fatum made it all about her. And maybe, Sheree, maybe you are getting too old to remember. Okay. Ooh, Sheree gets up then and says, you better say it. I'm old and cold. Tell it like it is. And she says, you better hope you look good when you get my age. And it was Marlo in the confessional, just as casually stating, well, Drew is a pretty girl, but she better hope that when she gets to be Sheree's age at 62, that she looks the same. And the producer has to say, she's only 52. Marlo, too, is at her best when she is not even trying, to me, okay? When she's just sitting there casually just talking, saying the wrong things, that is the Marlo that I am loving about this show, okay? Give me that Marlo versus the overly dramatic Marlo kicking people out the chateau and whatnot, okay? So the producer screaming that she was 52 took me out. Anyway, Drew tells her, girl, you came in real tough today. And then Drew says, I'm done with it. Okay. So as the ladies, move into the next room, Candy tells Drew, girl, I would love for you to sing Happy Birthday to Sheree. And I was like, Candy, you messy. You messy. You know these women ain't never heard her sing before, and you don't even know if she ready to sing. So how you gonna do that? Okay. Meanwhile, Drew does belt out a happy birthday, and the notes. Now, this you were on point with, Drew. Now, this you were on point with in my Phaedra voice. I felt like she did a great rendition of Happy Birthday. And maybe we'll hear this, new single coming out from Drew Sidora sometime in spring, September. I don't know, sometime around then. Okay. So she even says she loves Sheree at the end of the happy birthday, and Sheree accepts it as an apology. And this again is the type of housewives feud that I like. Y'all can fight, y'all can bicker, but at the end of the day, y'all can come back and hug it out and be good. So Sanya has some rules for Jamaica. Okay. Rule number 1 is wear water-friendly hair. She says, get your braids tight. Okay. Rule number 2, no standoffs, okay? Rule number 3, Drew, no props, all right? Now, Drew, she cannot promise that she will not bring a prop, okay? She might just do it. You don't know, okay? We'll have to wait and see if she does bring some. But based on the preview, she might want to bring a wheelchair, okay? Because what I did notice is during the preview for the midseason trailer that the girl tried to take off running in a race against Sanya, run Rudolph, and she herself trip up and fall. Now, you know she got the problem with the Achilles. So maybe instead of the props, Drew, you need to bring yourself a chair, okay, to have a seat. Meanwhile, she also says, don't bring no ganja because it's illegal there. And if you bring the ganja, I can't help you because I'm working, okay? And that's the reason for number 5. I need for y'all to be on y'all best behavior, okay? On your best behavior because I'm here to work, all right? And so that is the episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I personally, myself, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit, okay? I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, T, yes, it is one thing to know someone can sing. However, it is another thing to ask them to sing on the spot, okay? Because not everybody is always equipped and able to be able to do that, especially when they done filmed the scene, they done been arguing with somebody, but Drew never raised a voice. So, I mean, those vocals should have been nice and pure, okay? But it is not always a thing that singers do is sing on the spot. Now, some of the best singers can definitely give you a little ditty on the spot, but not everybody can. You know, not everybody able. All right. Bruce says, Richie, you shady for that statement of us hearing her birthday rendition around spring September. Well, she said she was coming out with a single, and she said that months ago. So my thought is it must be coming out in September. It's got to be. Or spring, summer, whatever. Who knows? So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to the Chatterization. I am so excited about the rest of the season and seeing where things go. And guys, while I'm thinking about it, we will be talking about the Married to Medicine girls in just a short little bit. So be on the lookout for that next video. The Married to Medicine girls gave what needed to be gave last night. It was a shockingly good episode. I was not expecting this episode to be so good after the episode we had last week, but this week, baby, they topped. I don't want to say they topped it, but they definitely hit some high notes. So be on the lookout for that. With that being said, y'all know I love y'all, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.